Graduated in 1981. He took a long time to realize his document education. He was on tenure. He finally got to it and started teaching here. He's done that for like 20 years. One of our best teachers. He's excellent at what he does because he has a passion to teach and he loves kids. He has a relationship with those kids. And I'll tell you a little story about him. We were at a big training, ISD-wide training. So there's staff all over the country. And the gentleman said, from right here, I believe, said, Mr. Puckett, Jeff Puckett, Newberry here. Puckett stood up. I just wanted to meet you. Every kid, who I ever get from Newberry, I asked them, who's your favorite teacher? And they all say Jeff.
All right.
No further ado, Mr. Jeff Puckett.
I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate you limiting your stories to those that are probably commencement appropriate.
Because we all have.
That's my mother.
Oh.
I'm going to move around a little bit because I don't do good in one spot. Whoa.
Can you hear me without it?
Not so good.
Sure?
Use your microphone.
No? Okay,
I'll try not to blast you out of the gym. When I was asked to be the commencement speaker, I immediately thought back to a time, probably 10 years ago, when a group asked me to be their speaker, and the superintendent came. He was only here a short time, didn't make a good fit here. He came to talk to me and said, the students want you to speak, but you're just a teacher. And I said, well, yeah, you're right. I'm just a teacher, and maybe it should be someone else, and I left it at that. As I stand here, I think of all the other people who've stood here and spoke. Famous people who've done great things. Even my Uncle Cliff spoke a few years ago. He was an FBI agent and then a captain of ministry, and now in his retirement he's built a multi-million-dollar real estate business. Rob Rubik, a hero of mine, stood here and spoke. Ian Fishbeck, who, if you ever get a chance to hear Ian speak, is fantastic. Lots of people who've been here have done many great things. And I felt like that guy in the Miller Light beer commercials. Some of you folks won't remember that, but some of you folks up there do, where that guy at the end always said, I don't know what asked me to do this commercial. And that's kind of how I feel now. I haven't really been anywhere, so I can't really talk about all the places I've been. I haven't really done anything, so I can't really talk about all the things that I've done. I don't know famous people, I can't really talk about that. So I really feel like, why did they ask me to do this commercial? But I'll do the best that I can, even though I'm just a teacher. My daughter Emily said to me, well, Dad, do you have your speech ready? Every day she's asked me, and this morning, do you have your speech ready? I said, no, I don't really come up with anything to say yet, sweetheart. She said, why don't you just teach, Dad? That's what you do anyway. You teach. I'm not good at very many things, but I am just a teacher. Yeah. Big clap for that. There's probably some things I shouldn't tell you, or things that I'm not going to tell you. Okay, really, I'm not going to tell you about Andrew Barbie and how every female that I've ever met, from adolescents to soccer moms to grandmas, whenever his name is mentioned, they pause and look into space, and they all make the yummy sound. not going to tell you about Colin Alexander, who I affectionately call Blue, who was a freshman and couldn't even step over his own feet. Was turned into quite a musician and a lot of other things going on. I can't tell you about Emily Nelson, and I won't tell you how kind and smart she is and how well she's going to do in the field of accounting. I can't tell you any more about Abigail Hayes, and I won't tell you that she's one of the kindest, most empathetic people I know. She really is. I can't tell you about Laura Bontrager and how if I was ever stuck in an alley, late at night, dark and scared, that she's the one I would want with me because she would not leave me. She wouldn't. She wouldn't leave me. I know she wouldn't. There's no way she would. I won't tell you about my friend Trevor Wojcinski, and I tell all of my students that you got to dance a little bit every day. All right, you do. Every day you got to dance a little bit. And a lot of people say you should dance like no one's watching. But that's not how Trevor dances. He dances like everybody's watching. He does. That's how he rolls. He really does. I can't tell you how talented and hardworking Mr. Myers is. Solid. I've known him since he was this tall. And now he's this tall, so it all works out. Pretty good. I can't tell you that Dylan Brown and I have been sharing a tie for about 3 years. I only have one, and I kind of share it with him, so we get to use it together. I can't tell you about Ariana Price, who's as shy as she is pretty, and now she's going to be mad at me because I mentioned her name. And come to find out that we're related. It's like second or third cousin. I don't know what it is, but I just think of myself as her uncle, and that works pretty good for me. I can't tell you about Haley Calkins and how when she sits in the room, if you ever get a chance, just sit back and listen, especially if it's her and Tiff. Because she and Tiff have this way of talking to each other, and just listen for a little while. It'll make you laugh harder than you ever thought you could. I can't tell you how hopefully someday Ann Transit will hire me. Because I'm sure she'll be governor if not president. I can't tell you how the Scott twins drive me crazy. We had to limit them to just one question a day. But they're going to go on and do great, and I'll miss them so much, dearly. I can't tell you about Molly Day, how bright she is, how hardworking she is. Great traits. Keep those traits. I forgot to tell you about Laura, who doesn't mind being pantsed, apparently. I'll let you talk to Laura about the story. It's kind of comical. I can't tell you how my friend Swanee here has just the right mix of dad and mom. Any more mom, we'd be in trouble. Looks like I've disappointed someone already, so... I'm just a teacher. Did I tell you that? Once or twice. And I've given you some ideas and taught you some things already. Some things are funny, yes. But some are appropriate, no, right? I've taught you to stop unwanted teenage pregnancy.
Don't say it.
Just do what?
No.
Just dry hump. That's the best way to do it. Right. That's it. Nobody pregnant that way. Stop teenage pregnancy, just dry hump. We should probably put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I hope you've listened to some of those lessons I've taught you through the years. Probably another one I should remind you of is that you can say almost anything about anybody as long as you follow it with either one of two statements. The first being, bless their heart. Second one being, if you raise your right hand and just say, just saying. And I've heard that going around. There are three stories I'm going to tell you, and they involve opportunity. Some students have come and asked me, what's this thing about an elephant? What the hell are they talking about? Elephant something. I said, well, I guess I better tell that story at graduation. The first story involves a cat and a dog that we had. Must have been 10, 12, 13 years ago now. We had this great big yellow cat. He was a furrow cat, a wild cat that someone dropped off to our house so graciously. And it kind of became tame and started to live with us. And we had, the cat was 17 pounds. Big cat. And we had this small little dog, little white dog, Toby. And Toby weighs 2.5 pounds. So there's quite a contrast. And the cat, in the summer evenings, would want out. And this big cat would peek its head around the corner, real quiet, and say, meow. Just chatting with me, because he knew. Meow. And then he got back behind the corner, because I was good at picking up whatever I could and winging it at the cat. Eventually, when he can't get out, he comes over, he jumps on the bed, and he jumps over you until you get up and let him out. So I got up and I was going to let the cat out, middle of the night, hot summer, muggy day. And I go over and open up the door, and the cat's on its way out, and it takes 2 steps out, so it's half in and half out, and it stops. I mean, it freezes like a statue. It was just like that. So I figure, what's the matter with this cat? I put my foot under the cat's rear end, I start to help the cat ever so gently out the door. But he's not moving, he's dug in. So I can't figure out what's going on. I look outside the door, and nose to nose with this cat is the biggest skunk I've ever seen. Yeah. So I very gently ease my foot out from under the cat and close the door. Cat's still standing almost on his front legs. He hasn't moved. Skunk nose to nose. At this time, the dog senses that something's happening, sleeping on the couch, and she starts to growl. I'm looking at the cat, cat's looking at me like, shut the dog up. Luckily, the dog laid back down and went to sleep. I snuck over, closed the windows, and now it's kind of fun for me. See what's going to happen to this cat. And to my amazement, this cat and the skunk, nose to nose, the skunk very simply turned away, tail up in the air, but then turned and walked down the sidewalk and walked away. And the moral of that story is that sometimes the door to opportunity turns out to stink. Not all of the opportunities that are coming your way are going to be good opportunities, but they're going to be opportunities. The second little story about opportunity involves my brother and sister, John and Megan. Megan's over here, ain't she pretty? Raise your hand, Megan, wave to everybody. Yeah, she hates that. And my sister Megan, she hears the music different than everybody else. I'm convinced of that. I have a poster in my room of penguins, a whole group of penguins, except one penguin holding a big red balloon. And I got that because that's how I see my sister. She hears the music different. Well, she's got a twin brother, Johnny, twin brother, JJ. And I went over to their house. They were probably 3 or 4 years old, 4 probably. And I came in, and Megan's laying on the couch with her nightie eating a bowl of cereal. And my brother Johnny is standing up in front of the TV. He's got his cowboy boots on, and his cowboy hat on, and his 6 guns, 1 on each side, butt-ass naked, nothing else. And he's watching his favorite show, the Ghostbusters cartoon. Loves Ghostbusters. So I come in and say, how you doing, Johnny? Get tipped the hat. Stays in character. Pretty cool. So I'm sitting down at the table, and after a little while, my sister Megan gets bored with what's going on over there, and she wants to play with my brother, and she wants some attention. So she jumps in front of the TV. And she does the little girl Megan dance in front of the TV, trying to get his attention. But he really took his Ghostbusters seriously, let me tell you. So he slides over a little, makes one step, now he's back in character. So Meg slides over, and she's doing the little girl dance step. So my brother draws him. Now she thinks that's the funniest thing she's ever seen. She's right into a fit laughing. But my brother then takes the gun and turns it around, and now he's handing out the barrel. Oh! Yeah. She doesn't see it coming. I see it coming. My father sees it coming. And I'm just trying to get up to get over there, and he raises the gun up, and he cracks her across the nose with his axe.
JJ.
She goes down like a bucket of crap. She's down, crying. Dad had to come in and settle things down after that. But I remember that occurrence, and that's another story about opportunity. Because sometimes opportunity just busts you in the nose. They really will. All right, I got one more quick story. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Your parents right now, they're not very smart, right? Most of you have told me that, God, my mom's dumb and that dumb, annoying. As you get older, your parents tend to get smarter. Yeah, when I was in my 20s, my dad started to get a little smarter. Now I'm almost 50. My dad's the most brilliant man that I've ever met. So know that your parents won't always be stupid. You're going to be okay. Okay, this last story. It's a story about my mom, actually. My mother had multiple sclerosis, terrible, terrible disease. Eats the myelin sheath off the nerves and messes you up, pretty debilitating. And I was in my 20s and working, and I was busy and had all kinds of stuff going on. And she was in a nursing home here in Newbury, and she calls me and says, I want to go to the circus. There was a circus in town at the fair. Oh, Mom, I don't want to go to the damn circus. I don't want to go to the circus. So I really want to go to the circus. There's no one else to take me to the circus. I want you to take me to the circus. All right, take me to the circus. Well, of course, I've got a bad attitude, and I'm snooty and short with her, and I don't want to be at the damn circus anyways. And I was getting tired of her being sick and all those things that you go through when someone you love has that type of affliction. So I picked her up, got her in the wheelchair, got her in the car, took her to the circus. And if you've ever been to the circus out there, before the circus starts, they got elephant rides going on, they got clowns, they got food, they got all the stuff to help you spend some money. And I'm pushing Mom in, and Mom says, I want to ride that elephant. I said, Mother, you're not riding an elephant. All right, you're 40 years old, multiple sclerosis. I'm pushing you in a wheelchair. I don't know how I could get you up on that elephant, even if I thought you should ride the elephant. You're not riding the damn elephant, that's it. She said, I want to ride the elephant. No, you're not riding the elephant. You're not doing it. So she finally relented. We go in, and we go to the circus. On the way back out, I help her get back in the car, fold up the wheelchair. I'm really frustrated. I didn't want to be at the circus in the first place. Now I got to bring her home, get her back in her room, and all those things. I was in my 20s. We get in the car, and I'm driving her back downtown, and she's real quiet. Which my mom was rarely quiet. I said, Mom, what's the matter with you? She said, nothing. I said, something's the matter with you. What is it? She said, well, I really wanted to ride that elephant. I said, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. You can't ride the elephant. We're not going to do it. She said, okay. Okay. Well, it wasn't 2 weeks later, she ended up in the hospital up in Ontonagon, and she passed away. And one of the last things she said to me was, if you ever get a chance, son, I need you to ride an elephant. Ride an elephant for me. And at that point, it clicked for me. Oh, that was an opportunity. It's something she wanted to do, and her time ran out. And of course, I feel like crap. And I'm very sad about that. So it was the next year, circus comes back to town. All by myself, I go out to the circus. And I just can't believe the look on the attendant's face as I'm sitting on the elephant with four children, and I don't think he can figure out why they're laughing and I'm crying.
That's sad.
Now the moral to that story is that you want to take advantage of every opportunity that you can. And that's where that slogan, ride an elephant every day, comes from. I try not to pass up opportunities. I don't want you to pass up opportunities. It doesn't mean go jump in an airplane and dive out. Or maybe it does. Take advantage of the opportunities that come. Never let anyone make a slave of you. Don't be a slave to other people's ideas. Make up your own. Don't be a slave to yourself. Don't be a slave to how you look. I was when I was young. I know some of you are. Well, I look stupid. You know, I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. My hair isn't right. Don't let those kinds of things affect your opportunities. I was trying to get my suit coat on before I came over here, and I said, it makes me look fat. And my daughter, Letty, said, well, Daddy, you are fat. But she was right. Don't be a slave to yourself. Finally, I don't want you ever to let anyone tell you that you're just anything. I'm not just a teacher. I'm a teacher. I wish you luck tonight. I have to say, thank you. Thank you very much. May your God, whatever God you worship, bless you and keep you, and Godspeed on your journey. Thank you very much.
Sad about his mom, I cried.
Okay, what's up?
Oh, I got to think about my mom and dad and thinking, oh my
Mr.
God.
Puckett made me cry. Now we get known to the business we came here for. And an open, no money. It's always girls first, so we start with the girls. Alexis Marnie Nolan.
I think their Zoom's good. Okay.
And Lacey, and I think they're right together.
Lauren K. Wilson. Lacey J. Parker.
Isn't that something? They're both side by side. That's all right. She'll be coming back now. She'll be see that. Yeah, she's the piano player. Oh.
Emily Susan Puckett.
All right. Yeah, it is. What is her diploma?
Emily Ann Nelson.